Checking 1 2, checking 1 2. Yes, we are live once again, and I gotta fix this little my crooked picture here to make sure everyone can get a look see at how crooked it is, right? And so to give us kind of like an idea of what may be in store for us the next week or so. Feeling a little bullish, when it comes to our stocks. And back at it again, guys. Welcome once again. Here we are, just was up to my own shenanigans, and decided I go live. I did say that I was gonna go live at 5, but I decided to come in a little early. And since I'm gonna be probably on by 5 anyways, it just makes sense that that I just stick around and basically give you guys a piece of my mind. And we talk about how the day went today, right? How were we trading? I got my little Mario shirt on, obviously. I love Mario Brothers, and just ready to go to have another day of profit and see what the markets may hold for us tomorrow. Very curious to see what the markets hold for us tomorrow. I'm very curious to see what this meeting that the market makers and market movers and pretty much the people that move the economy. This meeting at Jackson Hole, what's it got in store for us? Right? Today it was kind of a mixed bag day, but I see that a lot of our stocks actually had a good day. Overall, the market, the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow traded flat, right? And so kind of a nothing burger day, but a lot of stocks that we are into actually had a good day. So I just hope you guys were able to take advantage of the opportunities that gave themselves to you, and if you watched my video yesterday or you guys tuned in yesterday, I kind of hinted at, having a plan. And if I think towards the end of the video, I spoke about, what if these stocks are, up, kind of like, some strike zones that I was looking at. And if some stocks are down 5% or more, or maybe 10%, what to look at, right? I finally took a position on a company that I've been eyeing since it IPO'd last week. It may have been on the high side, but I was just it was just too good to pass up. And just based on everything I'm seeing and reading, on the fact that we actually may get 3 rate cuts this year, I think this one specific stock is going to fly. So I had to take a position on it, although it was a little on the expensive side, at least for me, right? Because I never like to take a position this early on. However, sometimes we got to be the data point we seek, right? And although I may wait, let's say I could be waiting 3 or 4 months for this stock to come down to $50. But in the meantime, if it comes down to $50 or $45, there's all this up and down that's going to happen. So I might as well just jump in now, start a position where I would actually buy it at. And if it so happens that I get assigned on these cash and puts, great. I got a stock that I actually want to hold for at least 5 to 10 years. And if I don't get assigned, then great. I got a big chunk of money for basically saying I'm willing to buy and take a position. There's one stock that I'm interested in, and if I don't get it, so be it. It ran out too high. I'll wait for it to come down. If not, then I'm going to position elsewhere and see where I can make my entrance, right? But in the meantime, I'm getting paid. So let's see, who do we have here? Jay Gill is in the house saying Savage with the number 1 icon there, and I think that's awesome. Jay Gill, welcome, my friend. Good afternoon. Ken's mom is in the house as always. Ken's mom, you rock. Thank you for watching. Jared is in the house, greeting us from Cincinnati. Big ups to you from the big Cali. San Francisco Bay Area, my dude. Rock, man, you rock. Thank you for watching. Always be writing is in the house, and that's my motto. Always be writing. Thank you for watching. Always be writing. Marcy's in the house saying howdy, y'all. Danny is discussing Iowa. It's up after hours, $2.80. Well, looky here. It just so happens that I have quite a bit of a position on it, and man, I'm underwater because I sold some $3 covered calls on it. But you know what? I can always roll. And that's the beauty of it, man. I'm gonna see what happens tomorrow. And based on what I see, um, I'm okay. I mean, I'm making money as it is. And if I already rolled to three, I'm up $1 per share. If I roll to four, I'm up $2,000 a share. I'm sorry, $2 a share. I have 1,000 shares. That's $2,000. I have no problem with that at all. So let's see what happens tomorrow. You know, I can't get overly excited, although I do get excited about a stock moving because that's kind of what we wanted to do, right? That's why we buy them. I love the fact that it's up over 100% after hours, though. That is insane. I just got back from the doctor and the not the personal trainer, but the physical therapist. And, I'm a little bit of a sore right now. I don't know if you guys can see these in my eyes. I'll take my glasses off. I broke a lot of blood vessels this weekend on I don't know if you guys can see. It's pretty rough there. I broke some blood vessels this weekend when I woke up groggy as hell at like midnight on Saturday, and I took a muscle relaxer just to realize that I had taken this muscle relaxer at 9 p.m. And that's kind of what put me to sleep in the first place. And then I did one of those where your eyes kind of pop out of your cranium, right? And you're like, what the hell did I just do? I figured, hey, I'm a big guy. Let me see what happens. I should be fine. Anyways, I read that if you overdo it, and you take 20 milligrams, you may be at a higher risk for a heart attack. I took 10 milligrams at 9, and if I take 10 milligrams at 12, that's 20 milligrams. So I had to make a decision: either see what happens, or kind of make myself vomit. So I went with the latter, and so it was terrible. Anyways, I'm laughing now, but it was kind of sad because, I seldomly take medication, and when I do take it, it really hits me. So that explains these bags under my eyes and me looking like a raccoon, guys. So bear with me. Mark C is saying good news out of Canada, which is great. Mark C, how you doing, brother? Good seeing you. D Visual R saying, my guy, how's the doctors? The doctors were cool. They took some X-rays. Finally, they took some X-rays. They had not taken X-rays. But a little degenerative something in the spine, which is to be expected when you get older, right? You have a little degeneration of the spine, nothing crazy, but as expected, there was nothing broken. However, now we are, since we've taken X-rays, we can discard that idea of anything being cracked or a hairline fracture or anything. So we could move on to MRIs. So, I'm going to make an appointment to get an MRI done at some point this week or next week. And then we'll see what happens, right? So like this is kind of one of those things that takes a while, and it's going to take longer than I expected it and I wanted it to, because I'm one of those rare people that actually likes to go to work and enjoys my job. I really do enjoy my job. And when I'm sitting on the shelf like this, I'm not making money, and I make quite a bit, and I like what I do. So it's like, it's a pay cut. But whatever, I got one of those, I have one of those injuries that if you don't take care of it the right way, it could be one of those that lags for a year or two. And I don't want that at all. So, but the doctor was cool. The physical therapist worked with me and kind of took it easy on me today. And we did some massaging, which was great. I'm going to be sore tomorrow, but, it's all good. I'm actually on the heat pad right now. So, I figure I'll sit on the heat pad and go over today and talk to you guys. Mando number 5 is in the house, not to be confused with Mango or Mambo number 5. Jeff Glass is in the house, throwing up that peace sign. What's up? Willie in Idaho's in the house. Hey, what's up, Willie in Idaho? Good seeing you, my friend. I'm guessing you're in Idaho. Big ups from California. Jared is saying, I got 12 645, 650 SPICO credit spreads that expire tomorrow. I'm a little bit worried. I'm up right now, though. I can't say that I'm on into call credit spreads at this moment. There's too much going on in my life, and those require a lot of babysitting. So I'm kind of staying clear. But as long as you're making money, I think that's cool. 645, 650. If you're in the area, I mean, that's cool. Do you see it going up anymore? I mean, there's good news all around, I guess, at this point. And also, no news is good news, right? So, I mean, if you have to roll them, you just roll them to the 650, 655s, right? Or 660, 665s. I mean, you can always roll. So as long as you're making money, that's what happens. So I will be careful, Jared, for sure. Mando is saying, but Iowa today, right on time before the announcement in after hours. Thanks, Savage, for the heads on the stock. Hope you get better. No problem, my friend. Actually, the person that put me on to that was Danny Deals, and I kind of researched the company a bit. I saw that it was there was a lot of big players taking a position on it, as well as it's heavily shorted. It's just where I like it to be. The IV was over 95, 90, and that's kind of the stocks that I look at and that I look for when I trade, because I want more premiums. And but more importantly, they have to have a good baseline, right? They have to have good fundamentals. So I saw they have good fundamentals. They have a legit board, and so why not? I figured, okay, I have some premium from some cash secure puts and some covered calls, so I took that money and I bought 1,000 shares, market price on a stink bid, right under one. I think a 191 or something like that. So, and then when it went to like 250, 260, I sold some $3 covered calls for like, I think 50 or 60 cents. So I brought in like 500, 600 bucks, to sell it at, $3 later in, I think, January. So I can always go from 2026 to 2027 and go up another dollar that route, and then, bring in some more, premium. So Ricardo Canales is in the house. Ricardo, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Willie in Idaho saying, are you in any BTC miners? How do you think they will do the last few months of the year? They kind of stalled. Are we talking about Bitcoin? Because I have Mara. I hold Riot, and I took a position today on bullish BLSH. So I basically let me see what I got. I think it was a $65 cash secure put, and I got, I think, $11 for it. Let me see. I want to be sure that what I'm talking about is correct. I am fairly certain. Here we go. So, yep, bullish $65 cash secure put. I got $11 for it. Last traded at 1080, so I'm down 10 bucks, 20 bucks. No big deal. I mean, I'm this is expiring October 17th. So I basically got $1,100 to just wait around and sit on my ass to see if this will actually be, in fact, $65 or less on October. And if it's not, then, and it's to the downside, I get the shares. If it's 1 cent above $65, I get my collateral, my $6,500 back. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I took a position of bullish. I have Mara. I hold Mara. I also hold Clean Spark myself. So I'm into the Bitcoins, if that's what you mean. And they are kind of stalling a bit, but you have to have patience. Bitcoin is one of those, right, that it runs really fast, and it stalls and then comes down a bit, and it stalls and it comes down a little bit more and stalls. But what it's doing, it's actually just consolidating. It's not really a stock, right? It's more like a moving organism, right? Like a digital organism, if you want to call it that, and it's just very fluid. And it doesn't necessarily stagnate at a specific point. So like it'll be here and here and then here and but then it'll just run up really fast. So one of those where I think if there is some rate cuts, I think those are going to fly. So I said, give it some time. Have patience, my friend. Have patience. Andres de la Torre is in the house saying hi, Savage, and oh, what is up, my dude? I hope you're doing well. JJ is saying hi, yo. I'm guessing he's playing golf, and I think that's awesome. You know what, man? I need to go play golf. That's what I need to do. I need to do something that people with money do. Because at some point, I'm going to get bored just trading all the time, and I may just want to be like, you know what, I made $5,000 today. I don't really want to stay home. My kids are now they're all in school. The little one started school this year, and so man, I want to do something that rich people do. So like, I may just start golfing. Um, I am a horrible golfer. I'll tell you that right now. As I am a terrible, terrible bowler. But I still want to go out on a beautiful day and hit the ball and then you be terrible and maybe, take a couple Long Island iced teas with me, and maybe go with the missus and act out and just be silly, have some fun. So happy Gilmore time. Andres de la Torre saying Open has been very good to me. Calls and cash your puts galore. Thank you for show. You know what? The saps are gonna keep feeding you, man. That's why when it went down to like 140, 150, I told people, hey, do some cash your puts, do some $1, do some 150s and try to bring in a nice premium, because guess what happened? It ran back up. And then it ran back down. And I said, some 150s, $1 to January will bring you some money, and then it went up to $2. And I said, guys, it's at $2. It's going to run a bit. So now that we are where we are, you may want to sell some $3 cover calls to January and bring in a nice chunk of change. You may want to go to February, bring a nice chunk of change, if you have the shares. Or you could go to like a month out, go to October, and try to bring in, 40, 50 cents. Why not? At this point, it's probably just casino money that you're playing with. So get paid. Get paid. Willie Knight, I was saying, Clean Spark, Mara, and Riot. Not really Mara. I do have Riot, and I do have Clean Spark. So, and I also do have some Mara, Marathon Digital. So, Marathon Digital is grossly undervalued in my opinion. So I think I think if someone wanted to take a position, I think right now is the time. I think Mara's not going to be down here much longer. I think 20s is more like it. But what I know, I'm just a silly idiot on a YouTube channel. Bullish just IPO last week, right? Yes, it did. It IPO'd last week and it went up. I think some idiot paid like 140 for it or something like that. And it got down to like 90, and it stayed like at 190, and then came back down to like 80. Today was it saw $62, and I said, you know what? I would not mind buying it at 65 and getting $11 so that I can essentially buy it at $54, right? And if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna do some 40s. I'm gonna try to get $8, $9 to do some $40 cash secure puts so that I can bring in my average, having that 54, and then the break even would be like, I don't know, $33 or something like that. So then you average 54 and 33, I'll be closer to 40, right? So that's how you do it, and I just have more shares. I mean, I'm long anyways. So if it happens to go down to like the 30s or 40s, I mean, boo fucking who, right? Like, I mean, welcome to the party, pal. That's when I'm going to go heavy on some cash secure puts, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, to try to get 400 or 500 shares. And that's just how I build my portfolio. I like my cheapies, man. But I'm not, I'm not scared to go up and buy NVIDIA at 140, 150. I'm not. If I know it's going to come back down some, and I know that it's going to gyrate, right? I think it's all about having patience, man. It's all about having patience. That's it. Anyhow, Welcome, I'm the Savage of Wall Street. We are back at it again. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. If it's your first time watching me, I am the infamous Savage of Wall Street, and we're here just talking shop, talking about moves we made today. I see that SOFI was nicely up today. I see up 2%. AI was up 2% today, and I didn't write on AI just yet. C3.ai I'm talking about. Remember that the discipline is 5 to 10%. If I see a stock runs 5 to 10% or more, that's my cue to write a cover call on it, right? Didn't do that today. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm not saying that it won't. I'm just saying that I think it's got a little more room to go to 20. If it goes up to 6, 7, 8% tomorrow, I may take into consideration, today, but we'll see what the stock gives us, right? That's what we got to do. We got to see, we got to be patient. We don't want to think ahead. We don't want to gamble and say, I'm going to time the market. I'm going to go and see technicals, and I'm going to, I see that it's here, and it's got 3 candles, up, down, the green, and it's just the one red's coming up next, and it's just, you have to have patience, right? And sometimes that means crossing your arms, and I know it's boring, but I do have some 1750s just marinating though. I have some 1750 cash secure puts just marinating. So I'm just going to leave them alone and let them just, decay. I also have some 25 cash secure puts expiring in September and some in October. So we'll see what happens. I'm underwater on those. So let's just see what the market gives us. Let's see here. Willie in Idaho is saying Cutwater Long Islands. Cutwater Long Islands. Yes, sir. Bombs, huh? Derek Brooks is saying, "What up, Savage? What's your opinion on Wolf?" My opinion on Wolf last week was buy it or sell cash secure puts. It was very low, and I think it went down like 8% on some day, and I think it went to like below 5, right? And I did some 450 or some $4 cash secure puts. Then I did like 5 or 10 of those, and so I'm buying them back tomorrow for a nice profit. I think I bought some back yesterday, matter of fact, because I was trying to raise some cash for stuff. But anyway, so, and it's just, the gift that keeps on giving. So at this moment, it's run a little bit, right? So I say, let's see here, where are we at? It ran 5% today again. And it's like a little down after hours. But this morning it was up like 17%, So actually I think I did buy some cash superior puts today. But not all of them, because I think it still has some more upside. I think $10 is the ceiling though. I just think $10 and $10.50, $10 is the ceiling. So it went up really fast. Give it some time to consolidate, right? It's I think that it's got a couple of, let's see here. It's got a gap to fill for sure. There's a gap, between 5 and 8. It needs to come back down to like 6, 7, and kind of fill that gap. Will it? We don't know. But at this point, I'm not looking into doing any more cash secure puts on it. I'm elsewhere, like I said. I actually started a position on bullish today, so I'm watching that now. I did buy some. We are all scallywags. We are all simpletons and degenerates, right? So I ended up degenning today on some NVDIA puts. I actually bought puts. I didn't sell puts. I actually bought them today. And I think it was like a 225 or 230. And they were the Unity 170 cash secure puts expiring, I want to say August 29th. Because I do know they have earnings that week. And those are going to be the ones that have the highest volume, so it's easier to come in and out of them. I just wanted to test the waters. Totally okay being underwater on those if I just saw how it moves, but it moves really fast and almost almost penny for penny at times. And so I didn't. In any case, I ended up buying, and then I ended up selling them literally like an hour later, just because it went up to like 260, I think. And I just didn't see it coming back down because it recovered and it came back down and recovered really fast. So it seems to have found support where it is. I'm going to give it another week and see what the stock tells us. Let's see what Jackson Hole brings, right, and how they digest those news and see how NVIDIA reacts, right? And then, but that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the 170 cash secure puts expiring, I think, the last Friday of August. And so at this point, I degenerated today for sure. Let's see, AI, like I said, let's wait on that. Cash secure put heaven was last week. But if it does, go down again, let's say to 17 land, I wouldn't be afraid to write some 1750 cash secure puts expire in October. Bring in some cash, and at the same time, you're getting an insanely good stock. As a matter of fact, you know what? I was doing some reading on AI, and I was looking at Zacks. I don't know if you guys follow Zacks research. They're pretty legit. And they said they actually wrote an article saying, is C3.ai stock the next NVIDIA? And is it a buy? And they given it a buy. Key takeaways are C3 AI reported fiscal year 2025 revenues of 389 million, up 25% with fiscal 2026 guidance of up to 484 million. So they're looking to go up $1 million. I mean, $100 million almost. And I do know that guidance is a little lower than expected, but if they're making $100 in revenue, right? I mean, that's not terrible. They're making revenue. C3.ai secured a U.S. Air Force contract and raised to $450 million and expanded oil and gas sector bookings. Partnerships with Microsoft and Google help position C3.ai as a top app on Azure and Google Cloud. I mean, those are not boo-boo partnerships, man. NVIDIA Corporation's data center graphics processing units for artificial intelligence tasks have boosted its business, while C3.ai applications have won over a diverse client base. Does this mean C3.ai can rival NVIDIA, and is a stock a buy? So you have to make up your own mind. But just the simple fact that Zacks is comparing C3.ai to NVIDIA, that tells you quite a bit about what type of company NVIDIA, C3.ai is, and the upside that it brings with it, right? The stock, there's not so much in existence. There's not so many shares out in existence, and the float is low. So it can move very quickly. Also, it's heavily shorted. The shorts are going to get caught with their pants down. And I know that you guys hear about, GME and all these other companies, but it's a fact. When a company with a very low amount of the available shares, right, especially the available float, when it runs, it's really hard to borrow. And it's very expensive to borrow, which means what? Which means that people get caught in short positions and then they have to cover, right? That's why C3.ai runs from 26 to 30, 35, 40, just like that. And it's wonderful to see it. It's a stock that's been paying me money for 3 years, and it keeps going up and down. C3.ai was like $171, I think, or $161 at a point a few years back. And then, the whole fiasco happened with the economy pretty much, short of crashing, right? So it went down to like $10 a share, $11. And I went in heavy and I bought a lot of stock, and then it recovered and went up back to 20. And I sold some 25s. I rolled to 30s, and I've been wheeling and dealing, and moving my moving my strike zones back and forth, and just making money, in the meantime. And that's exactly what I think people should be doing right now with it, is just making money. The stock is a $40, $50 stock easily. It is very undervalued. Now, it is what it is, though. It's at $17. It's $18 right now, but it's all a matter of, like, what do you want to do? What type of position do you want to take in? And I think a position when the stock goes down 5% or more, or 10%, in a cash secure put position, it's not a terrible position to be in at all, especially if you put those shares, because then you could sell another cash secure put, right? And then you could average down. Or if it runs, after you get put those shares, it runs 10, 15%, then you can sell some covered calls and bring in revenue that way. It's really simple to make money with C3.ai. Derek Brooks is in the house saying, "What up, Savage? What's your opinion on Wolf?" I gave it to you. I like it. I mean, it's a good stock to buy. I would wait for it to come back down to like 8, and then do some cash secure puts. If you really want the stock, do some $9 cash secure puts. But I'm gonna wait a little bit. I think it ran out too fast. Kent's mom is saying, "I sold 900 shares of Open at the high today. Nothing wrong with 100% profit." Nothing wrong indeed, ma'am. Nothing wrong indeed. Please keep making that money. I love hearing this. Because Open Technologies, Open Door is one of those that I was really pounding the table on it. And you guys, I'm not bullshitting you. You guys can look at my videos, 6 months ago, when I was saying, God, this stock is at 50 cents. The stock is at 55, 60 cents. When the rate cuts happen, and they will happen because Trump is president and he wants his rate cuts, right? When that happens, this stock is going to go to $5, $10 a share, just off of that alone. Forget the technicals, right? And so, it's a real estate play, and right now, real estate is taking it on the chin. The market is cyclical. We all know that. We should know that. And if you don't know that, I suggest you look at, how is the market cyclical, and look for red flags when there's going to be like a turn of the market, right? And the cycles move. So anyhow, it's still a buy at 150. It's still a buy at $1. Whenever it comes down to like under $2, do 150 cash secure puts and bring in some money. Dare the market to come and get you. That's how you do it. Let's see here. Kent's mom said, "I may get back in, see what it does in the next few days." That's exactly it. Kent's mom knows the deal. She knows the deal. You let the stock tell you what to do. You don't hope and pray for something to happen. You don't just spend all day, looking at technicals and at like candles and drinking 4 or 5 Red Bulls, and 10 cups of coffee and fucking getting all jittery and getting ulcers. That's not how you do it. You've already made money. You cross your arms. You know what you're looking for. You wait for the stock to go down 5, 10% on a day or more. And then you go and cash secure put it to death. Just bam, bam, bam. This is what I want to own. This is my my position. And I'm fucking planting my flag here, and you aren't moving me. I'm not leaving. This is it. This is where I'm at. And if it happens to go down, fine. Then you do some cash secure puts at a lower strike and you average down. But like, if you are going to, if you're going to start investing and take a position on a company, make sure it's a company that you see yourself holding for at least 5 years. I hate seeing when people say, "Man, I'm holding the bag." I'm holding the bag. I hate holding the bag. I got this shitty stock. And it's like, why in the first place are you buying shitty stock, dumbass? You should not be buying shitty stock. You should be buying companies that you would totally do business with if you're not already doing business with them. My kids love Roblox. They're always fucking going back and forth about Robux. So I bought Roblox. I fucking know Palantir. I know people that use Palantir. They fucking love it. So I bought Palantir. I know people that are using C3.ai, NVIDIA, fucking Salesforce. So I am on it. I love Costco. So I said, you know what? Fucking let me buy Costco at $400 and it fucking ran up. What do you want? Like what is it that you do in your everyday life? Right? Do you take fucking Ozempic? Are you somebody that uses Ozempic? Fucking Novo Nordisk. That's like what made their stock fly. Taking it on the chin. UNH did the same thing, but like healthcare is going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. So like that was your time to say, you know what? I'm going in here and taking a position. It's at a 50. I love going into a stock when it's at a 52-week low. Oh my God, do I love it. I honestly go in the money and I sell cash secure puts in the money because 52-week lows are like my wet dream. Sorry, that sounds nasty, but like it's a dream, right? Because you're buying a stock you're looking to get, and it's at a 52-week low, and you're like, you know what? I want to get paid to buy it at a 52-week low, and the IV is high because it is at a 52-week low. So the IVs in the 90s and the hundreds. Holy shit, you're getting paid and you're getting paid. So either you get paid money or you get paid a lot more money. That's just the way it is. But you have to have, conviction. You have to have a plan, and you have to say, this is where I'm planting my flag. This is the stock I want to buy. I'm going to take a position. Don't buy shitty stock, though. Kent's mom knows what's going on, and that's exactly why she's saying, I may get back in. See what it does in the next few days. That's what she just made money. She brought 110% in. She just shitted on the fucking Wall Street executives that make 90%, 80%, 70% in a year. She just shitted on them. She brought in 110%. She's probably a stay-at-home mom, chilling with Ken, making sandwiches, and she's making 110% back on her money. Do you understand? That's awesome to read. She just brought in a shitload of money, and now she's saying, hey, I'm going to cross my arms and see if I feel like getting back in when it's at a price point that I find, accepted. Holy shit. Like if we all did that, right? And that's the and that's the discipline that we strive for, you would make a lot of money, guys. And then guess what? Then I would be so happy because I know that I'm making millionaires. And my goal is to create 100 millionaires that see this channel in the next few years. Will it happen in a year, 2 or 5 years? I don't know. But it would be really cool to know that, that like my life meant something other than like, obviously my life means something because of my children, right? Like they're a reflection of me, but like, I would love to give back in this way. And it's like, if I can create some freedom of like financial stressors, right? For people that are watching me, I think that's so cool, man. So yeah, don't buy shitty stock. Buy companies that you see, are worth it. Do you play video games a lot? And about Unity? Buy some Unity. Do you like electric vehicles? Okay, buy some Tesla. Is it too expensive for your taste? Buy some Rivian. Rivian is sitting at $12.40 a share right now. Holy shit. That stock was trading at $175 like last year. It's at less than a tenth of what it was trading at its top. So it's near 52-week lows. This is where you want to get in, right? People are always saying, man, when is the time to get in the market? When is the time to get in the market? When it crashes. When it crashes is the best time to get into the market because that's when you are able to take advantage of all the blood in the streets. But when a stock that you're looking at is at a 52-week high and it has nothing to do with the CEO being a dirtbag or some insider trading issues or some illegalities and irregularities with them cooking the books. If it's none of that stuff and the fundamentals are good, that's when you go in and say 52-week lows. Oh my God, let me get some of that. That's how I do it. Do you think that NVIDIA is too hot and it needs to come down at some point? Guess what? Then you may want to buy some SOXS. It's a direction daily semiconductor bear stock. It's leveraged 3 times, which means that if NVIDIA goes down 5% for the day, this is going to run 15%. Because it's leveraged 3x, sometimes more, right? So And again, whenever that NVIDIA runs to 52-week highs is when this is at 52-week lows. So that's when you take a position, right? GME. GME is GME. I'm tired of waiting on the sidelines. So GME, I'm going to keep selling $23 cash secure puts out a month or two until the fucking cows come home. And I want to keep selling $23 covered calls until the cows come home. I want to choke the shit out of that pig because I'm done waiting. I have some shares that I'm not riding on, right? In case it happens to go to the moon, but I need to get paid. My portfolio is a building, and guess what? I'm the owner, and the stocks are the tenants. They have to pay me rent. I don't want to hear about tales of woe. I don't want to hear that they had a bad week. I don't care. I just need my money. I need to knock on the door and be like, "Hi, I like the monthly rent payment, please. The rent is due. Hello," and give me my money. And that's the way you got to look at it. You got to look at your stocks as like them being tenants in your portfolio as a building, and they got to pay rent. It's like if you take that approach, you're gonna get paid. Today I exited some positions. I exited some positions, and I'll tell you right now which ones. I exited C3.ai, AAOI, the NVIDIA ones I was just telling you guys about. On this portfolio, that's the only ones that I see. But you know what? I brought in $1,100 on bullish. C3.ai, I brought in like $500 or more, I think. And AOI, I ended up bringing 50%. So when I go and I look at my portfolio, and I go to the realized profits and loss little area, I just see close for 50%, close for 44%, close for 55%, close for 25.9%. Close for 51%, close for 8%, close for 13%, close for 36%. I think I told you guys about Bull, Webull, and leaving leaving some Clean Spark as well because I needed some money and I closed for a loss there. I closed for a loss of 1.67% and a 40% loss. And then I see 58% gain, 58% gain, 60%, 65, 30. So like, it's just, they're there, I'm not, so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you. I don't know if you guys can see, let's see here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. I'm not BSing you guys, man. Like, I'm telling you guys, that's how you do it. Like, if you trade, with discipline and you have a plan, you just keep doing it. And this is just one portfolio. I have a Webull, I have a Charles Schwab portfolio, we have a Fidelity portfolio. So like, all these cookie jars, right? And so like, that's how you do it. If you exit for 40%, 30%, you don't have to go to 100. Because I sold some of these contracts a couple of weeks ago, right? And they're expiring like in October, right? Some in November, some in January. But the point is that I sold weeks ago, and I'm already up 40%, 50%. Why would I wait? Like, I already made it in 2 weeks, the 40, 50%. Why would I wait? Like 3 more months or 2 more months for like the other, 40%, 50%. I take money off the table because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I know for a fact where these stocks are right now. So like I exit my position, I take the win, take money off the table, and more often than not, I'm good. Once in a while, I'm like, I make the wrong call and I exit too early. That's fine. You have to be okay with the decisions that you make because you are your own portfolio manager, right? But if you just exit at 40, 30, 30, 30, 40, 50, 30, 60, you know, like you won't see it right off the bat. But when you see it a year or 6 months ago, that's a lot of money, right? So it's just, I love seeing that much. I love seeing that much green in my portfolio, you know, and it's just, you can make $1,000, $2,000 a week easily, doing this, right? And you don't have to, like, you know, spend every waking minute when the market opens, like just looking at a screen and, you know, fucking ODing on Red Bulls and, like, you know, taking medication, like, you know, uppers or going off on coffee and stuff like that. Like no, be like Kent's mom. You know, get back in when you feel like it because you already made 110%. You know, so JJ is in the house saying, I'm folding my arms until I see a 5% run up. That's the way, my friend. This is the way. Andres is telling Ken's mom that was a home run on open. Yes, it was. Jared is saying, any thoughts on USAR? I think I looked at it yesterday or maybe last week. I can't give you for sure because I haven't really researched it. Oh, rare earth minerals. Oh yeah, it shed the bed right today. Wow, yeah, it was. I remember now. It was too close to the. Remember, I said this last week. I think it's too close to the 52-week high. I don't like it. I may look at it if it goes down to 12, 13, and guess what? It's at $15 now. There's still more room to the downside. It ran up kind of quick. And now it's cut down quite quick. So just give it some time. It's down 17% in the last week, right? You know, the 52-week high, you know, $20, right? So just give it a minute. Give it a minute. You know, it's the same thing that I did with bullish. You know, I waited a few days for it to settle and for, like, you know, the phobia and all that stuff. And the FOMO, I mean, some idiots paid $130, $140 for that stock. The same stock that I just did a $65 cash secure put on. You know, I'm buying it at less than half of what they paid. You know, so like maybe a third. Just gotta have patience, man. Remember, Warren Buffett said it best, and I said it before. The stock market is a device that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient investor. So be the patient investor. Tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. I see a little bit of green. I see things are starting to come back. I think in anticipation for Jackson Hole, I think we're gonna have a nice green day tomorrow. And look for opportunities tomorrow. Look for opportunities to sell some covered calls, right? If your stock runs 5% or more in a day, you know, if it runs for sure 10%, write some covered calls. Go out, you know, a couple of months. Go to October, you know, and try to bring in dollars. You know, make it worthwhile. And if you have 1,000 shares, write, you know, 10, write five, just in case it runs some more. Write 5. Try to get $1.50. Bring in $500 at least for your troubles, right? Why not? Get paid. Let's see. My thoughts on USAR is just, you know, give it a minute. Jay is saying thoughts on IPA, 9 million volume today. IPA, I drink them. I don't know about investing on them. Let's see here. Immunoprecise antibodies, right? I know nothing, man. I'm not going to tell you otherwise because I don't know. I know the 52-week low was 27 cents, and it's 271 right now, meaning it is at the 52-week high. I personally would stay away from it. I stay away from any stock that is at a 52-week high because at any point it could just rug pull, and then you're holding the bag, right? So I wait for days that are bloody. I wait for days that, I mean, my unicorn is a stock that is down like NVIDIA. A stock that is down 25 or 30% when everything is down. Meaning, there's nothing specific about that stock. It's just because everything has sold off. The algos triggered everywhere, and they just raised cash, so they're selling everything. And in buying Tesla at like $110, $150, buying NVIDIA at 90, at $80. I mean, that is a dream, right? I think Tesla was down to like 180, 170, and I sold 190 cash secure puts out to 2026 December, and I brought in a ridiculous amount of money, and then the stock recovered. But I'm not buying those back because I got, I think, 50%. And I mean, I'm daring them. I'm daring Tesla to be $189 on December 2026. Because I would love to own Tesla at that price point. It's like $100 or something like that I would pay for it. Like my break even is like at 100 or like 110 or something. Something ridiculous, man. So that's what I look at. I don't recommend, although this is not financial advice. Like I personally would not buy any stock that was at a 52-week high at this point, unless I knew something for sure, like some insider type of sure, but like that's not legal. But I mean, that's what I would do. So yeah. Dude is in the house saying, let's go. Chase Rosita Parker in the house saying, good evening. Charlie C2 is in the house saying, hey yo. Free Range is in the house saying, yes, savage. Kent's mom is saying, I see a lot of green. Nice. I'm just trying to be like you, Kent's mom. Colton is in the house. SoftBank to invest $2 billion in Intel. Stock just jumped. I honestly, I can guarantee you the reason they're buying is because Trump said that the government is going to buy 30% of Intel. So make of that what you will, my friends. But I think everyone's going to be buying Intel now. But, if you are into Intel and that's your thing, that's all good. I mean, you're making money. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Tom Kaufman is in the house saying, good evening, Savage and everyone else. What is up, my dude? Kent's mom say, how far out are you writing GME cash secure puts? I have some January's 2026. I had 24 GME cash secure puts that I wrote in June that I'm up 26% on. I haven't gone farther than January 2026 on GME cash secure puts, but I did write 2027's covered calls when the stock ran to like I think $35 or 40. It was like 35, and I sold 50s. And I think and 160, and I brought in a lot of money. So I'm just letting those decay. I'm letting those decay. I did buy back a lot of GME on some other cash secure puts that I had up to I think September. I think, but at this point, I sold some 23s. I'm just daring the market to put those to me, because my average is so low. It's like the 14s that I if I was to get assigned at $23, and I think I got like $3 in premium, so my break even is like $20. So like, okay, so I'm gonna average that. I'm gonna average up actually from 14 and change to, so I'll be like at what, 14.70 or $50. It doesn't matter. I'm all about bringing in the shares at this point. And like I said, I want to keep selling $23 cash secure puts and covered calls. I'm going to choke it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm tired of staying in the sidelines with that. Charlie saying, I got some GME cash secure puts out to January 2026 and also Kent's mom. But I've also been writing 1 month to 1.5 months out. I've been doing the same thing. Last one I wrote was September 19, 24's puts for 250. I wrote some puts and I wrote some covered calls. And I think the covered calls I got like 192. for 185 for, I think, last week. And these are 23s that I wrote. So I mean, for like, a month, I'm getting almost almost $2. So I did 5 cover call rights, and so that's $1,000. So I put in $1,000, and so that's how that's how I'm going to skin that cat, and let's see what the market gives us, right? Charlie's also saying GME $24 September 19th cash secure puts going for 218 now. I mean, that's not terrible, but why not go for the 23s in October? It's $100 less of collateral and more time, so you're probably going to get more money. You'll probably get closer to $3. So you're basically, that's a $200 move to you, on the upside to you. Kent's mom, Charlie C2, I will look at shorter ones tomorrow. October 23s are selling for 207. Oh, there you go. See, I like October 23s. I say wait for it to go back down to like 2250 and do the 23s so that those 207s could be closer to like 275. That'd be cool. Yeah, no, September's. I mean, I did cover calls on, so I'm okay with that. At this point, I'm looking at cash secure puts October and further out, unless there's like some drastic, drop, and let's say GME goes to 19, in which case, I may do, I don't know, 22s to January or 21s to January. Doesn't matter. It's all about making money, man. So yeah, so tomorrow, let's see. Iowa is up. Are you guys sure Iowa is up so much after hours? I see it 15%. I mean, that's not. I thought it was like 100% that it had jumped or something like that. But this is a nothing burger. I mean, as long as it stays within 3, I may just roll over tomorrow. Because right now, my $3 covered calls are 48 cents. That's what I closed at. So if this runs to like $1 tomorrow, I mean the covered calls, they run to $1 or more, then I'll just roll them to like 4s in 2027 and bring in more cash. I mean, that's just how you do it. I take advantage of the upside. I never fear the upside whatsoever. BBAI. So Big Bear was down. Big Bear, I like Big Bear, guys. I really like Big Bear. It's a good AI. I mean, just like SoundHound. You don't have to pick and choose and be like either or. Take both positions. Don't take like an incredible big position on like the one. Take like 50-50 position on both. That way you kind of are diversifying in a way, right? And also, I mean, Big Bear could run a lot faster than SoundHound, and it has more upside because SoundHound is already like at $15, right? So this one with 3x at 15. So yeah, man, I like Big Bear. I was busy, with the doctor more than anything, so I couldn't really do much. But what I did do today was like just a big chunk. But don't be scared to go and sell some $5 cash secure puts on Big Bear out to October and ask for 50 cents or 55 cents. You're bringing in 10% or 11%, 20%, I mean 12%. Nothing wrong with that at all. And you're basically daring the market to put the shares to you, and the stock will have to come down almost $1. It's already down, so it would have to come down another $1 for you to like even be at risk. So you're mitigating that risk that way. So I mean, I like Big Bear. My average is like 3, so like I'm sitting pretty. I have some covered calls that I sold, some $7 covered calls expiring 2027. I brought in like $3 for like 350 when it ran. So like, at this point, I'm just letting time do whatever time does. I just take advantage of the saps. Don't be afraid to do some $7 cash secure puts out to January. and bring in some chunk of change that way, or like even $7 to 2027. Let's see what $7 to 2027 would give you. Let's see, going to January 2027, you did some $7 cash secure puts. You could bring 350. You could bring 355, 350. Oh my God, that is 50% return on investment. I may be looking at that one for tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I am looking at tomorrow. That's bringing in 50% for what? For 16 months? What bank will give you 50% to hold your money for like 16 months? A little over a year. No bank. No bank will give you that. And that's insane. And that's, it was just $8, $9. And it'll keep trading at this channel because it's got to consolidate. But I assure you, BBAI is not going to be $7 a year from now. It's not. It's just not. And if it is, then you got paid $350 to buy a stock that is $6.50, $7. I mean, you got paid 50% to buy that stock at that price, which is insane. So I like it. Karen D saying, hi, everyone. There's so much I wanted to write today, but I ran out of dry powder. I ran out of time because I had to go into the doctor's office, and then I had to go into the physical therapist, and then I had to go get some x-rays. So, I just ran out of time. I wish I had, an extra hour because I would have done some more damage. But, it happens, man. There's a saying in Spanish that is saying, hay más tiempo que vida, right? Like, there is more time than life, which makes sense because, they're talking about, your one life, like you personally, right? There's always going to be more time than your life. So I guess the moral of the saying or story would be to take advantage of now, right? Take advantage of today. So enjoy your time with your significant others, with your loved ones, because, there's always going to be more time than life. Your life is just so short. So, which is why we have to invest as much as we can, guys, so we can retire early, man. I'm looking at retiring early with you suckers, man, and then, going live 10 years from now from I don't know, Maui or freaking Japan, kind of like Uncle Bruce, or Greece, or you go somewhere and then drinking a freaking alcoholic drink in a beach somewhere, right? And just going live and talking about the market and saying, and you guys saying, hey, Savage, I just missed you. I was just in Maui last week trading, or hey, buddy, I'm over here, in the Swiss Alps, freaking drinking champagne and eating caviar on the fucking gambler's dime. Savage, what it is. Or somebody saying, hey, Savage, I happen to be in Tokyo right now, too. Dude, where are you? Let's go have some freaking noodles or some boba. And I'll be like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. That's, it'd be so cool. It'd be so cool to do. The Visual Arts is saying 15% is a nice pump still. I'm going to wait for this September dip. Yeah, well, it's a dip that may not come, just given, what everything else is happening. But don't wait for an overall dip is what I'm trying to say. Look at your stocks. Look at the companies you're looking at, right? Like your watch list. And see if a specific stock goes down 15 or 20% on a day, and see why. And as long as you can justify the reason why, and the metrics are all still the same, nothing has happened, there is no insider trading, it's just like a hit piece or like a miss of some sort, right? Earnings are all missing right now because it's expected, right? So I wouldn't get scared of going in at a 52-week low in some company because they missed on earnings. That's just dumb. It was expected. So the fundamentals are still the same with that company, which is why when C3.ai last week went to $14, I was like, holy shit. I was telling everyone, cash secure puts, people, buy it here, buy it now. Do some cash secured puts, because this is not going to stay at $14 much longer. This is not staying at 15. It has no business down here. And some people said, you know what, this guy makes sense. They looked into the company. They said, that's a good company. I'm going to take a plunge. And they did. Boom, they're getting paid now. They are getting paid. That's what happens. Hence, mom is saying, I like BBAI. I sold a $6 December 19 cash secure put for $160 last Friday. Good for you. I wouldn't expect any less from you, Kent's mom. Juan Velasquez is saying, good afternoon, everyone. What is up, Savage? I just got on. Didn't know you were live. Dude, I know. I said I was going to go live at 5, but, I went to the I keep missing the physical therapist today. I went to the doctor and I got some x-rays. So my back is a little sore, and I was going to go into my room and watch some money market. I was going to watch oh my God, why can't I think of this guy's name? Kramer. I was going to watch Kramer, right? And so and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go sit down on my little comfy chair. I'm gonna put the heat pad underneath my butt, and I'm gonna go live. And I was like, I'm gonna stay until 5, and then I know people that were waiting for me to go live on 5 are gonna come in, and I'll already be live. So it's a win-win, for people that were looking for me to come through, and they came in a little early, which is great. And so I'm here. Welcome, my fellow simpletons, scalawags, degenerates, and ne'er-do-wells. It is I, the Savage of Wall Street, back at it once again. And I'm just here to tell you guys that tomorrow is going to be a day of opportunity. As if you guys can't tell by now, I'm a little bullish for tomorrow. I think that because of the Jackson Hole meeting, people are going to start salivating at the possibilities of a rate cut, and they may think that the rate cut's coming when Jerome speaks from Jackson Hole. That's what happened last year, right? And the stock market went fucking haywire. I'm sitting on a ridiculous amount of cash secured puts at this moment. I got out of a lot of positions today because I took a new position on bullish BLSH. I took a $65 cash secured put position, and I got paid $11 for it. So some idiot out there decided to give me $1,100 of his hard-earned money that he paid taxes for me putting $6,500 out there like this on a table and saying, I'm going to buy that stock at $65 in October. Not today, in October. And this poor, idiotic, dumbass, sap, silly rabbit decided to give me $1,100. Do you understand that a lot of people pay $1,100 as a mortgage in the United States? Maybe not like people that bought in the last 10 years, but there's still people paying $1,100 in mortgages somewhere. And I just basically did that. I basically took in a mortgage payment with that one right that dies in 2 months. I mean, what? That's the type of game we're playing, folks. That's the type of game we're playing. So I wish I would have had more time today, but time ran short. What are you gonna do, right? But yeah. Juan Velasquez saying, "Hope you're feeling better as well." I am feeling a little better. Thank you for that, Juan. I appreciate it. Beach Boy is in the house from Thailand, and when I say that I wish to be reading from all of you scallywags, ne'er-do-wells, and degenerates from all over the world, when you're millionaires and you're traveling with your significant others, your kids, your husbands, your wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, pets, whatever. I wish that I could read you guys are in Tokyo, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Maui, somewhere in the Eastern Europe, chilling, or in Paris or Portugal, in South America somewhere, just writing cash secure puts and cover calls, bringing in money at the same time as you guys are also on vacation. Thank you, gamblers. And Beach Boy is in Thailand, financed by the gamblers. And I assure you, Beach Boy is there with his whole family. So Beach Boy, thank you for watching, my friend. Much appreciated. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time seeing me, because I'm talking about the stocks that I trade, obviously, and it's quite a bit of them. However, these are really good stocks. Like the Wolf of Wall Street would have said, don't judge me on my loser. No, don't judge me on my winners. Uh, Judge me on my losers, because there's a few of them. Anyways, I love that movie. Beach Boy, I hope you're doing great, man. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you and the fam are eating some delicious food. Thai food is some of the most exquisite food in the world. Some of the healthiest. Thailand, it's beautiful. I know Koh Samui. I'm really looking forward to going to the Waldorf Astoria up in Bangkok and the Koh Samui Conrad, because it looks beautiful. So that's in the works, but the kids have to get a little older. However, it's my dream to be trading from the Waldorf Astoria up in Bangkok, and that beautiful, beautiful uh, pool that they have at the top of the building, and from the beach of Koh Samui, maybe like on some infinity pool overlooking like the beauty of a sunset or something. I think that'd be so cool. So anyhow, Big Bear AI cash secure puts for 2027 are 350. Big Bear AI is trading almost at $7. That is a $7 cash secure put giving you 50%. I repeat, a $7 cash secure put bringing in 50% of value to you, your life, your pockets, by you saying, I'm going to buy this stock 2027 in January at $7, and they're giving you $350 right off the bat. You do 10 of those, you just made $3,500. You decide that you're a baller. You decide that you really like BBAI, and that's the future. You think that there you can go no wrong. Nothing can go wrong. You like their fundamentals. You like everything there's about. You like the way that the CEO works. You like the board. You like all the contracts that they have on the works. You like everything they have down the pipeline. You do 100 cash secure puts. That is, you put 70,000 out there in the ether, and you say, guys, I am in this for 100 cash secure puts, and you will bring in $35,000. $35,000 for your troubles. Yes, sir. Yes, you will. Do you understand that? You could just do one trade in a year. That's the one trade that you can do in a year. You bring in $35,000. You live somewhere like Jesus Christ, why am I East Asia. You live in Vietnam, right? You live in Thailand. You decided to retire, in like Nicaragua, and you bring $35,000 on one trade. You're done for the year, my friend. You are done for the year. You can literally just fucking travel all day long. Wake up in the morning, have some delicious organic coffee, go about your day, work out, go hiking, go swimming, come back, have some lunch, or you can have lunch where you're at, come back in time for dinner, watch some movies, rinse and repeat on one trade in a year. That is insane. That is possible. But all you have to do is just have conviction. You just have to, there's nothing to it but to do it, man. You just got to have conviction. But it starts with one cash secure put or one covered call. That's it. All right. Ray Sherlock is in the house saying, yo, Savage coming through from Ireland. I hope you are well, my friend. Ray, what is up? Thank you for watching from Ireland, my brother. I am in California, the good old USA, over here in the San Francisco Bay Area. What is up? I am so awesome. I feel so awesome and so blessed that I'm reaching someone in Thailand right now, in Ireland, and some people all over the United States, and some people in Hawaii. Man, you guys don't understand how good that makes me feel. And that we're all here finding common ground. Our common ground is the stock market, and we're all after the same goal, which is to become richer, to become millionaires. And this is how you do it. It's doing a little bit of homework. And this is homework, right? This is just awesome homework. We're over here socializing. Everybody has the same goal in mind, and we're all like-minded. And that's exactly why this channel is here. And people can talk about trades here. I may not have seen the trade, but like, there's other people that can see the trade right there and then talk about it. And you guys can have a better outlook on what the market is giving for specific trades. And tomorrow you can mirror that trade. You can look at that stock. Maybe it's a stock that you have not thought about going into, and you research it and you're like, that's a good stock. I think I'm going to take a small position on it. And you diversify your portfolio. That's what this is about, my friends. All right. So let's see here. Lucid is at 219, and it's just a matter of time before it rips to 3. It's being held down, man. It's heavily shorted. I'm just going to keep buying shares at this point. And the way to buy shares at this point is on Lucid. You sell the $2 cash secure put out to October, right? And you try to bring in 20 cents. You can bring in, you put a stinker. I think that the highest someone paid today was 17 cents. Put 20 cents there. So you can get 10%, get $200, get $20 back for every $200 you're risking, right? You do 10 of those, $2,000, you just bring in $200. What is wrong with that? There's so much Saudi money on here. And let me tell you, Lucid is one of those, it's like, what's this other company? IOVA. It's like IOVA. If it's such a bad company, if it's so cheap, why does Vanguard keep buying it? Why does BlackRock keep buying millions of shares all the time? You don't have to believe me. You can look it up. Why? Why are they taking such a heavy position on it, right? There's so much Saudi money. They're going to get their stock to go to $10, $20, $30 is just a matter of time. Not everyone can afford a Lucid. Trust me. These are expensive vehicles. They are catered towards those people that buy Maseratis, right? But this is just the electric vehicle side of it all. That's the direct competitor, right? But it's in an electric vehicle form. Extremely, extremely beautiful cars. The Lucid Gravity just broke the world record, the Guinness World Record for driving on one charge, 750 miles. That's insane. Mind you, the first person, the guy that is responsible for the Tesla, for the first Tesla model, the Model S, I think, he's the guy that started his own company, Lucid. He came from Tesla. He's the guy behind it all. And he started his own company. It's taking time, but it will happen. It's just a matter of time, guys. Let's see here. Somebody says something about bears. Juan Velasquez saying, I was going to mention the bull behind you. All of a sudden, the bear is gone. Well, there it is, my friend. It will happen once in a while. And if ever you see a stag up there, that just means we're trading sideways. That's all it means, my friends. If you see a stag, don't be surprised. Free Range is saying, have a good evening, Savage and crew. My friend, you have a great evening. Thank you for watching. Watch us on the repeat later on to see what you missed. Juan Velasquez is saying, I wrote lots of SOFI $22 and $25, as well as put credit spreads on UNH to November. That's awesome. You're making money. Jared is saying, just got back from the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. That is what's up, my friend. Oh, man, that's a dream of mine. The Smokies, hiking the Smokies, man, that's definitely a dream. I really enjoyed Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee once, and I really very good barbecue for some reason. I wasn't expecting to have such a good barbecue there, but yeah, no, it was cool. It's a cool state, man. Cool state. And I wish, I wish it was closer to California, because at the end of the day, I could just fly there. I understand, but it's kind of harder with the kids, and I don't know how much. Maybe, but I enjoy Tennessee very much. So thank you for watching from Tennessee, my friend. Juan Velasquez saying, I need the cash to take to Spain next month. That is it, my friend. That is what's up. Where are you going? Are you going to Madrid, Barcelona? Are you going to San Sebastian? Are you going to Valencia? Where are you going, my friend? I'm curious. I think you've mentioned it before, but I forgot. Free Range is saying, on our way, Savage. That's what's up. That's what's up. We're on our way. It's just, you got to start somewhere. You know, the way a man walks around the world is by taking the first step, right? That's how you start a trip around the world. It's taking one step, right? So that's it. And then the one step becomes two, then three, then so on and so forth. So it all starts with one covered call, one cash secure put, one share. It's just, it doesn't take a millionaire. You have to have thousands and thousands of dollars to start trading. Somebody mentioned, I think, on Sunday or last week, so because of the painkillers, it's all a fucking blur. But somebody mentioned $1,500 is what they had to start a position portfolio, right? And they were like, "What do you recommend?" And I said, "Well, this is not financial advice, but if I had $1,500, and I told them kind of, you can look at Lucid here, there's Open Door here, and then, I may have mentioned." I may have mentioned RXRX. I may have mentioned IOVA, but the whole point is that you don't need a ridiculous amount of money to start. You could just, with $1,500, you can start with 100 shares of like each of the companies that I just talked about. And some of them you don't even have to buy the shares. You could do a cash secure put. You could do a cash secure put on two of these stocks, and then use the $200 that you make via cash secure put, and then you could have bought 100 shares of IOVA or like 100 shares of Lucid, and then buy some more of these other companies out here that are like so cheap at this moment. But it just you gotta want to do it. So Savage is saying, Savage, I've been reading and watching the Trade Desk and DLO, the payment company, and I do like what I see in both of them. Any input on them? I don't have any input on them. You mean the trading desk? I thought about going in. You know what? It's there's just so many stocks, man. It's so hard. It's so hard because I do know the trading desk. I don't know about DLO. Maybe I do, but maybe I don't understand the ticker. I'm not familiar with, but the trading desk I was looking at 2 weeks ago when it was low, and I really was looking at it. I was looking also at UNH, but UNH was just a little too expensive. And I just decided to go. Then we had the drop with C3.ai, right? So you got to take advantage of the opportunity. Like, yeah, you may have a plan, but like Mike Tyson said, right? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? So like, opportunity just reared its nice, beautiful head somewhere else, and I had to go there. Like I only have so much capital. Like I know some of you guys think like I have millions and millions of dollars, and like I don't. I just, I'm not a trader. Like I'm not a day trader, but I do, trade daily, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not glued to my screen, like, and watching these graphs all day. Like I'll come in for like an hour and a half. I'll make my moves and then I'm done. Right? And then I have to be a dad, right? I gotta go to work. And since now I'm injured, and I'm not at work, I have more time, so I'll be able to come in, a few times during the week, 3, 4, 5 times a week, so that I can be with you, scallywags over here, chopping it up and talking about the market. But my input on them is like, the trading is, especially if it's opportunity, if there's opportunity there. But I think it just ran up. Didn't it just run up? But if it's like, at a 10, 15% down type of day, going with a cash secure put, go like one strike below where the price is at. Juan Velasquez is saying we're heading to Seville, Malaga, and Marbella, and we end up in Madrid to eat at the Michelin restaurants there. I love Spain. We were there last year, and next year we're going to go to San Sebastian. Awesome. But may I recommend by the Mercat of San Miguel, which is like in Madrid, there's this glass Market, you'll know when you're there. In a corner somewhere up in the, I think, northern east part of it, going towards like El Arco del Triunfo, right? There's an Irish pub. Go there. You will have the most delicious Guinness in your life, and it's on tap, obviously. And they give you some tapas. Like every beer, they give you a tapa, but the tapa with the first beer is not going to be as good as the second beer. And as you increase your intake of beers, the tapas just get better. So by the fifth beer, you're getting like a steak. So you'll be fucked up, but you'll be well fed. And that place was just amazing. And obviously the Mercat de San Miguel, right? So you go to that San Miguel market, and it's just, oh my God, everything in there, man. There's so much food. The tapas are just chef's kiss, man. We went to La Botija, which is the oldest restaurant, I think, in the world. I think it was opened like in 1662 or 1772, something ridiculous. But we had the little baby suckling pig. And if anybody's is a vegetarian watching me, I'm sorry. I just, I had a baby suckling pig. It was fucking delicious. But yeah, we went to some really good, expensive restaurants. And can I just tell you that, like, we had a better experience going to the old Ma and Pa little restaurants, like off the beaten path, especially when it comes to like the pinchos and like the gambas. It's just I don't know, man. It was just a better experience overall. I had these escargot and like parsley and olive oil and some sea salt, and I mean, oh my God, they were just heavenly, and it was just a flavor that I can never find ever again. I had razor clams, which I had never had before. Again, just olive oil and sea salt, so basic, and it was just, oh God. And then they washed down, especially I went there for the summer with my wife. This was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And it was so hot. It's so hot and dry. So like every 3 blocks we would walk, we'd be so like, we're American, right? And so we're from San Francisco at that. So it's always 60 degrees here, right? 60, sometimes 50s. So when we went to like 90s and it's like a dry heat, or like 100, degree weather, it's unbearable. So we would walk 3 blocks and then we go into like, a bar, and then we would have some cañas, right? And so on and so forth. Give me a second, guys. Yes, come in. What's up, buddy? What's up? So we have the little savage here, guys. Come here, little savage. Come here.
Hold me tight, okay, Sally?
Oh, you're fine. He's here with Sally. He loves the Nightmare Before Christmas, and his favorite character is Sally. So this is the little savage. All right. Say hello to my friends.
Hello.
Yeah. Say stock market.
Stock market.
What are you doing? Are you having fun?
I don't like boys. That's why I don't like Jack Skeleton. I like only Sally.
You like Sally?
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Not Jack Skellington?
No.
All right. So, he's a connoisseur.
Jack Skeleton is disgusting.
Jack Skellington is disgusting?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's your opinion, right? That's cool.
I like the
It's all good. All right. So this is why we do it, my friends. This is why we are always, on the prowl, waiting for those bloody streets, and we feast when we have those down days. Stop watching here. He's trying to steal the show here. Did you have a good day at school? He just started school, by the way, guys. He's a kindergartner, and he's very excited to have started school this week. No, last week. No, this week. I'm sorry, guys. The painkillers, guys. It's the painkillers. Anyways, okay, go with Vita, okay? Go downstairs. I'll talk to you later, okay? All right, close my door. Anywho, guys, that's what's up, man. So, yeah, Juan. So, if you're gonna go to Spain, man, definitely try, the Mercado San Miguel. I'm sure you're gonna go because it's like the place to go in Madrid. But like in one of the little areas right outside of it, in a corner, you're gonna see an Irish pub. Excellent, excellent. And San Sebastian is honestly, it's a place that I really want to go because I know that it's one of the culinary wonders of the world, and people don't have any idea on just how delicious that food is in San Sebastian. So yeah, I'm looking to go. The Visual Arts is saying that was definitely me, 1500, but I was looking to wait a bit. You mentioned RXRX and Iowa. See, and I'm sure I mentioned if you had some more. I mentioned I think I mentioned Lucid, and I may have mentioned like another company. Like I think I opened door if it came back down to like the 150s. The whole point is that with $1,500, um, you can start a nice position of like 400 or 500, you know, um, shares of different companies, and kind of diversify, right? Because these are all very different companies in very different fields. And then you start your position and you start and you begin, and every time you get a chance, you dump another $500 in there, and then you buy some more with via cash secure puts, and then you start another position, or you go in and you add to your shares. Um, go, go, and then tell Vita you're gonna be right there. So that's just my 2 cents, right? You don't have to be a millionaire to start, but you have to have a good idea, and you have to have a good plan, right? And a good idea on where you want to go. Set yourself goals, right? Little goals. I know everybody wants to be a millionaire, but if you just start saying, "I want to be a millionaire," and then you see $100, $200, it's so far. The dream is just so far from you. Give yourself like small goals that are attainable easier, right? Because they will build up to bigger goals. So say my goal is to get taken out, on a cash secure put right off the bat on an RXRX cash secure put. So you go and you sell a $6 cash secure put out to like September. You bring in whatever money and you wait. And if you're put those shares, great. If not, you do it again. Another $6 cash secure put out this time instead of October, you go or September, you go to October, right? And so on, and then finally you get put those shares. There's your first goal. So another goal could be selling covered calls. So now you wait for a day that RXRX jumps 10%, sell a covered call of 750 out to like January, bring in some money via cash secure put, and that could be another goal. Get some 100 shares taken away via covered call. That's another one. So bye. Okay. Anyhow, let's see what else do we got here. Juan Velasquez saying in Barcelona, go Barça, my favorite soccer team. Mine too. Mine too. I actually saw a game in Barcelona. I saw Barcelona against Santos from Brazil. The year that Neymar transferred to Barcelona, and he played the first half with Santos, and he played the second half with Barcelona, which great. I was there that year, and yeah. So the Mercat San Josep again, another. It's in the Ramblas area, right? That market. It's got so many good places that you can eat at, but you actually want to go to eat to restaurants in Barceloneta, which is kind of like the old Barcelona, and it's closer to the beach. And there's like the older buildings. You go to like those small pot stores, restaurants. There's some old restaurants there that just, I swear to God, I had this one dish that was like a broth. It was like a seafood broth with like potatoes and like I mean, it was like this orange broth, and it had shrimp in it, and it had some mussels, and it had scallops, and it was just, I mean, I don't know what it was, but it was just honestly one of the top 5 things I've ever eaten in my life. I never would have ordered that here because if you described it to me, I would have been like, I don't think that tastes good. But it was like in a bar, in a Catalonian name. and it looked delicious. So I was like, let me try that, and I did, and I'm so glad I did because that dish was honestly one of the top 5 dishes I've eaten in my life, and that was something else, man. Um, the visual artist saying BBAI too. There you go, BBAI. Juan Velasquez is now saying, Savage, we have a great restaurant in San Fran, my friend. I love San Fran. I graduated from McAteer High School. Oh, that's what's up. Okay. That's what's up, man. I know exactly where you are. It's called Soda now, right? School of the Arts. Larry Titus in the house saying hi, Little Savage. Yeah, the Little Savage is making his appearance, man. Let's see here. UNH is so freaking expensive, says Juan Velasquez. The only way I can touch is writing proof carry spreads. Otherwise, I would not even consider it. I mean, again, you will. It's just, it takes time. It takes time. I didn't think I was going to touch NVIDIA and Tesla again, but now I'm doing it all the time. It's just, it takes time, man. You're in patience, and just keep bringing in 40%, 30%, 20%, 40%, 30% all the time, and you'll see. And I just showed you guys. I just showed you my portfolio with all the closings on it, and I show you the 40, 50, 60%, 40%, 30%, and I had like 1 loss or 2 losses, and and everything else like 23 or 24 things are green. That's how you do it. You win more than you lose, right? And you make sure that those losses are very minute. And then your portfolio just expands. That's how you do it. Rick Sherlock saying, my journey started with just 30 shares of Palantir, sold at 120 and began writing puts. I've almost hit my 20K milestone since then. That's less than a year. It's hard to fathom. Exactly. That is exactly it. And like I was just saying right now, when I gave you guys the BBAI example, right? BBAI is giving you $3.50 if you write cash secure puts out to 2027, the $7 strikes. That's insane, because if you were to take $70,000 and say, I'm going to do 100, you're getting $35,000 in one trade. That is mind-boggling, but it's possible. You just gotta say balls to the wall, and this is where I want to be at, but they have a plan. And obviously you have to have the capital, right? So you have to get to that point. But that's why you dump as much money as you can into the stock market, when possible, and you work as much as you can. Always ask for extra hours, overtime, and work as much as you can and dump it into the stock market, because your money will actually grow there. Threw most of my savings in during the Liberation Day. Good for you, Ray. Juan Velasquez is saying, oh, wow, now consider done. I will hit it. We went to Mercado San Miguel last year, and it's just an amazing place. I agree with you in regards to the expensive restaurants. Lots of the tapas. And Savage, we have great restaurants in San Francisco. Yes, we do. The Visual Arts. Little Savage, stop going up. Hi, little buddy. Ken's mom. Hi, Little Savage. So he is adorable, Ken's mom. He's too adorable. Come here, buddy. Tony, come here.
Yeah.
Come here. CKT saying, dude, I have 4 boys, can't go anywhere in my house without being interrupted. Made some money today, buying back Carrot calls on Sound, and buying back cash your puts on AOI. That's how you do it. Get up here. Get up here. Yeah. Stock market. Say SOFI. SOFI. All right. CKT saying, I was planning on buying 100 shares of UNH in my dad's retirement account, but I hesitated prior to the Berkshire 13 file. It's all right. Still bullish on them long term. Jude Case in the house saying, hi, Savage. Don't worry about that, man. There's always that UNH, buddy. I mean, honestly, even right now, it's a good time. Start looking at Circle. I took a position on bullish today. You can wait for bullish to come down to like 55 or 60 if you want. Just put bullish in your radar, guys. I think that's a good stock to keep an eye on, because it's taking a good position on on some really good back collaterals. So I think that I just wanted to take a position on it. I do think that although I may not like it, crypto is here to stay. People want it, people like it, and now the government is getting in on it. Banks have found a way to get their dirty hands on it. So so either get down or lay down, right? So I decided I'm just gonna take a position on it and see what happens. Luckily it's a small position. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching me, man. We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes already. My wife is gonna get here from work soon. Did I mention she started work again? She got tired of being home and being a housewife, so and she's here. Oh God.
Hello.
Oh my God. I thought she'd be on her way. She's here. Good thing I was talking nice about her, right? So. But yeah, so I'll be back on tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. You simpletons, scalawags, ne'er-do-wells, and savages, and simpletons. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys all over the world. CKT, thank you for watching. Jude K, Juan Velasquez, D Visual Arts. Definitely, let's make this money tomorrow, man. At 8:30 a.m., I want to be here. Ken's mom, I can't thank you enough for always watching and having my back. Manda number 5, Larry Titus, D Visual Arts, Ray Sherlock. Let's see here. Free Range, Jarrett. Let's see here. Beach Boy for sure. Thank you for watching from friggin' Thailand. Karen D, Charlie C2. We have one Colton, Chase Rosita Parker, Dude Face, JJ, Derek Brooks, Willing, Idaho, Andres de la Torre, Ricardo Canales, Jeff Glass for sure. Jake Gill. I mean, guys, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button, man. Hit that share button. If you guys can, you can put my videos playing in the background wherever you guys are. Put the volume down and just let it play so that I can get more exposure time. And I think I'm doing pretty well with the algo, but you always can do better and get more traction, because that way I can reach more people. And the bottom line is that the more the merrier, and the more people that I'm exposed to, the more people that we have in our social circle here, and the more stocks that we can know about, right? I love talking about new stocks that I'm looking at and putting on the radar of different people out there, and for you guys to see, right? And then you guys have actually, I think Wolf, WULF, it was something that I think, who was it? Yiddy was the one that put it on me to it. So and it worked out great. So I mean, guys, this is all about just trading ideas and seeing what people are trading, how they're trading it. And if it's your first time watching me, thank you for watching. Subscribe. If you're just beginning your journey, or even if you're a seasoned veteran, it's always good to see what people are writing, because we are writing on usually the 10-20 stocks that we have, and we don't see everything else, right? We kind of put it on the back burner, and someone else comes in with hey, RX has jumped 25%, and I just wrote a $10 cash or covered call, and I just got $2 for it, and you're like, oh shit, I got some RX. Let me see what's happening. I completely forgot about that. It just helps, So anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. California time. Until then, have a great night. You guys take care, and peace out anywhere in the world you are. One love. Late, guys.